Hey guys, Studio here. Today I've had this theory in my mind for quite a while now. Is Zant still alive after Twilight Princess? And we're gonna be talking about that theory and showing you I have quite a lot of evidence why he still is alive. So let's get into it. Okay, so first off, looking at the end of Twilight Princess, we kill Ganondorf and we have the scene with Zant. Now he's looking at Ganondorf and we know Zant is dead because we killed him. Quite an interesting fight actually. But Zant he has this weird snap on his neck, and then he goes to Ganondorf and then something happened to Ganondorf, his eyes turned white and he stopped breathing, and we all think that, Zant killed Ganondorf. Well, do we really know that? I mean, considering Zant, he really did think that Ganondorf was a god, and he followed him all the way, and he would think that Ganondorf would revive him when he was dead. But I mean, being that loyal to someone, I wouldn't think that they would kill their master. They don't really have much of a reason to. So, I mean, we know Ganondorf was feeding off of Zant's power a little bit to get to the light world. So, what if, Zant gave his power up to Ganondorf and somehow fused himself inside Ganondorf? Because we look at Ganondorf's eyes when he's dead, and his pupils go away, and that's not normal. So, what if that's Zant? Zant's eyes, because we know Zant's eyes has no pupils, and it's just clear white. So I mean that him going inside Ganondorf would make sense for giving him life, both of them, and preserving Ganondorf. This next point will definitely blow your guys' mind. I mean, I was surprised when I heard this too. So, looking at the Breath of the Wild 2 trailer, if we actually reverse the audio of that whole trailer, we can hear a theme that's very, very similar to something that we know. So, I don't know if you guys got it, but that sounds almost exactly like Zant's theme from Twilight Princess. It sounds very similar to it, and it almost exact representation of that same theme, just with different background noise. If you saw my other video where I analyzed my the Breath of the Wild 2 trailer, you can tell that, we saw Ganondorf. That was Ganondorf, that body, creepy body was Ganondorf. I have reason to believe that, but also what I said earlier with Zant putting his power, him inside Ganondorf, and if that body's Ganondorf, there's definitely got to be a reason why we hear Zant's theme during this whole trailer. Because if Ganondorf has nothing to do with Zant anywhere in any of the other games, and except if Zant would put himself in Ganondorf, we would see the connection between the two. We see Ganondorf as its body, and then we have Zant also sharing that inside Ganondorf and having the Zant's theme played backwards. One thing to just point out that happened, that Ayanuba was saying, he said that this game was going to be much darker than Majora's Mask. Now, in that sense, it's kind of hard to believe that, because Majora's Mask was very hard on the inside. It was dark. It was just by itself plain old creepy. But the fact that this game is gonna be darker, maybe he was being more of a literal, physical darker. I mean, Zant is part of the Twilight Realm. What if this is much of a darker representation? Everything's gonna be darker because of Zant. And we all know that, the worlds can't be in peace with Twilight in the light world, because as we saw in the end of the Twilight Princess game, Midna's like, Twilight don't belong in the world of light. It doesn't make a good mix. So this could be just explaining why we're having this sequel, why Ganondorf is somehow still alive, because even looking at the end of Twilight Princess, we never see them take Ganondorf's body anywhere. He's just kind of standing there, so maybe they took it, they maybe locked it somewhere. The Master Sword's still in him, so they must have done something. And also looking at this as another sense, we can see maybe future timeline areas, timeline placement of Breath of the Wild and Breath of the Wild 2, maybe taking place close to the Twilight area, towards the timeline where the Twilight Princess takes place. That definitely could happen. So we have many different points going through this theory that Zant could still be alive, but in the form of Ganondorf, and maybe they'll use their power together to defeat Link. That's probably, there might be their plan. Another point to mention, that in Breath of the Wild, we have this, little villain leader of the Yiga clan, Master Koga. His style is very similar to Zant. I mean, he takes that big ball from the ground and uses it just like Phantom Zant does. And we all remember from Zant's final battle that at least the final phase, he was pretty whacked up. He didn't know what to do. He was just playing with swords, and that's kind of what Master Koga is. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's just kind of some guy who's messing around. His fighting style is very similar to Zant's. And so I have reason to believe that there's some connection between Master Koga and Zant. I don't think that Zant is Master Koga. I think there's some kind of ancestry involved to it. But there's no coincidence that the Yiga clan, who is, wants Ganondorf to be revived and everything like that, there's no coincidence that Master Koga is very similar to Zant, and the Yiga clan want to revive Ganondorf. There's got to be some mix in there, some motive why they more want to do it so badly now. There's got to be something with the Zant, enforcing that on them somehow through their minds, somehow through his power, and wanting to revive Ganondorf because Zant's inside Ganondorf, so reviving Ganondorf would also be reviving Zant inside of him. Another thing to just point out is we can see, that weird green hand that Link has, that Link gets to his hand. If we look at the outer shot of it when it's grasping onto Ganondorf's body, we can definitely see some of those like weird, kind of Twilight Princess look of that like bracelet it's wearing. And just by overall looking at the areas of, the Breath of the Wild 2 trailer, a lot of it can very similarize the Twilight Princess in the Twilight theme, Twilight area. As we went to the dungeon in Twilight Princess, a lot of it's that blue glow. And I mean, just look at Midna's hair. It's a hand, just like that hand. So that hand could be resembling something that the hero did, or some sort of kind of thing that Midna's hand does, because we know Midna's hand did have the power to, stop Ganondorf, stop Zant. It definitely killed Zant, as we saw. So it definitely has some power, and that might be why it may be stopping Zant from helping revive Ganondorf inside them. And then some of Ganondorf just kind of spilled out, making that malice. But, I mean, seeing the team up with Zant and Ganondorf, it would be kind of cool. But we know Ganondorf kind of sees the Twilight people as weak and, it's kind of dumb, as we saw in Twilight Princess. But, these two games definitely connect. These two villains definitely connect in their own way. So, hopefully we will be able to see some of that connection and partnership in this game. Now, at the end of Twilight Princess, Midna did destroy the, Mirror of Twilight, so obviously they're probably not going to go to the Twilight Realm, or Midna's probably not going to come back. But who knows? I mean, this game looks cool, and Zant, there definitely is very big possibility that Zant is still alive. I mean, I knew himself couldn't explain Zant's neck snap, because nobody understood it, because the person that made the cutscenes, it was kind of, he wanted to make the game a bit weird, and he did a good job. They did a good job on that. But yeah, this theory, it's got evidence, and it can happen. So just keep this in mind, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Yeah, bye. Subscribe, like, whatever you want to do. Leave in the comments below on what you honestly think of this theory. What do you think could possibly happen? Is it probable? Does it make sense? Just let me know in the comments, and I will be making more theories. So see you guys in the next one. Bye.